All right, welcome back, Double Teamed fam. How are we doing? Today we've had them on the show before. You know, we love them. We have advertised and endorsed personally, you know, their products for a long time. But Stephanie and Hannah from Personal Fave, hi.
Hi.
We're back.
Yeah.
We love y'all, and we love your products.
Yeah.
I know I tell y'all this every single time we're together, but like literally anytime someone's like, "Oh, I need lube," I'm like, "Personal Fave."
That's right.
And they're like, "I want to try this," I'm like, "Personal Fave, personal Fave." Yeah. So y'all's formula is insane. The other day I was going through like my group chat memes with my partner, and then I was like, Joe Rogan's favorite lube. Oh wait, can we tell that story?
I don't know if we did.
Yeah, how did that come to be again? Okay, so basically, this is actually a great story. So the four of us have a group chat, and it's called Joe Rogan's favorite lube, and it's because this guy reached out to us, and he was like, and basically saying like, "Hey, what was that brand that you guys mentioned that you really like for the lube? I'm trying to find it." And so I told him what it was, and then he like messaged back, and he was like, "My wife wanted to know how I found this lube," and I told him I heard about it on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Oh my God, yes.
Just tell the truth, hubby. Let them know.
I know. I was like, "What's wrong with our podcast?"
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe. But it's actually kind of funny. We get a lot of guys that say they found our podcast through their like girlfriends or partners.
I like that.
But yeah, he didn't want to say double teamed. He wanted to say Joe Rogan.
That's
I
fine.
know. Yeah, that's fine. I wish we had the numbers of Joe Rogan, but you know, we can manifest that.
We're getting there.
Yes, Stephanie and I are manifesting. We have our crystals here today.
I love that. Yes.
I always
manifest through the
I have my crystal bracelets. Yeah,
I
we're
do.
good.
So I'm good.
We're good.
Okay, we'll start off with a couple little icebreakers.
Okay.
And I'm really curious for this starter one. I don't know if you've ever thought about it. What do you think, if aliens existed, what do you think their penises would look like?
Oh.
Or what would you want them to look like?
I like what I would want them to look like.
Let's hear it.
I just am like ready for the aliens to come. I'm like, I feel like they're scared of us. They're like, I feel like they've like come down, gotten close, and they're like, this is a shit show, never mind.
Everyone has anxious attachment.
Yeah, literally.
What is
like,
that white stuff they put up their nose?
Literally. They're like, So I feel like they're holding out on us, and I bet it's some good freaky shit. What would I want it to look like? What would you want it to look like?
I don't know. I also feel like my perception of what I think it might look like has been warped by all the creature cocks that we've seen at all the trade shows. So now I just like kind of see a tentacle.
Okay.
But I don't necessarily think that belongs to an alien.
Okay.
So I'd have to think on that. I also don't know if they have penises.
Oh, interesting. I like that. Maybe it's something we haven't even thought of.
Yeah.
Because I also think like we project in like cartoons and movies that aliens have like such little dick energy because we're so insecure. And so I do want to be pleasantly surprised no matter what it is.
What if it's like a unicorn horn that grows out of their head when they get horny?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
And then they just sit on their face, literally.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking like almost like E.T., like you just like touch the hands and then like you have an orgasm. Like something crazy.
Like the Avatar where you like the tails.
Oh, I like that. I
Yeah.
like put my braid to the side and like
all of a sudden I came.
I love that.
okay.
Okay, but let's talk about the trade show.
Oh, the creature
The-
cocks.
I hate those. Yes.
Oh man.
How's that going to feel inside you? I've never had one of those.
Guys, the smallest one, it's like, it's crazy.
Okay, for those on the audio, at least 10 inches.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's the mini.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's interesting because I think there's just been a huge influx of these really kind of chaotic porn variations. Like, I haven't looked into it, but tentacle porn, if you want to look into it, apparently is really crazy. So I think it comes from there, along with like the fetish about laying eggs.
I can't do that. I can't do that one.
For me, I'm like, that's fun decor. I
Yeah.
like a creature cock like as a nightstand, and I'll like put my necklaces on it.
Just
That's
like
actually
a great
beautiful.
idea.
Yeah.
The one that comes to mind for me is I remember at AVN I saw one and it was like suction to the table and it was like it did look like a tentacle, like it was wide at the base and then it came to a point at the top and it had kind of like a slight curve to it. And then it was like rainbow colored and then it had like little spikes at the top and I was like, ow.
Yeah, no, I don't want that in me, but like it's fun to look at and touch and play.
That's what I thought of. I'm like, okay, touch where?
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think she's referring to her jewelry idea of like the decor.
Put the jewelry
but,
on it, yeah.
But I don't know.
It's a conversation piece.
It would be something interesting. I think maybe we could ask Zoe. I feel like maybe she's experimented, like Thongria from Spectrum Boutique.
Okay.
But I don't know who else like might have actually tried it. Or
we need to poll the people.
Yeah, we need to poll our people. But I don't know. I mean, it's been a big display though at multiple shows. So obviously they're selling.
That's what I was thinking too, because I see them at every single show.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like the one that I was talking about was probably at least like over 12 inches.
But then like the bases are that big, and I'm like, that would never go in me.
I mean,
You're gonna need a lot of lube.
The wet.
Actually, well, you know, this is a great time for me to ask: can we make the wet like just a little bit bigger of a container?
You need more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Taking notes.
Just saying, because I was actually ran out of it the other day, and I need to order some more.
Okay.
I was just like, damn, I went through this really quick, and I was like, I need a bigger container. And I don't know, because you've seen like the
like Lube Life and some of the other like bigger.
Yeah, and they're like huge.
Like a gallon.
And I'm not about those like the really cheapy ones that are like massive. But at the same time, I love that the size of the bottle, it lasts forever.
It lasts forever. A little goes a long way. You can travel with it, but
Yeah.
you know, it's only 1 ounce. We can get a little bigger, so you still can travel. Get under that 3.4 ounces.
That would be great.
Okay,
if I
we're
could make
taking
that
notes.
request.
Yes, requests heard.
Wait, actually, that brings up a question. Does lube go bad?
It technically has a 2-year shelf life because of all the natural ingredients in it. We don't have preservatives in it.
Oh.
But I will
Love that.
I will say this off the record. I have used formulas after the 2-year shelf life, and I am standing here.
You're like, my pussy is happened.
Yeah. So I cannot endorse that, but yeah, we like to say 2 years you should get a new bottle.
Okay.
But I also like take more advice from Stephanie than me, because I'm like, oh, my Advil expired in 2016. I'm gonna take it anyway.
I don't really. Yeah, I was gonna say I've got expired makeup for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I have makeup from middle school.
Yeah.
Yeah, my eyebrow
eyeshadow
palette.
palettes,
Yeah,
yes.
exactly.
Oh, like a blush we're wearing?
Yeah.
We've had that since like 2016.
For
Exactly,
sure.
yeah.
I'm wearing a Becca blush that is definitely pre-pandemic.
Exactly. Love
That's
it.
my time frame.
Okay, good to know though, because as soon as you brought that up, I was like, well, shit. But I've gone through the wet pretty quickly, so it hasn't come up as a problem.
We got you.
But then as soon as you brought that up, I was like, I know I definitely have some other brands that like are just, they've been sitting.
Well, you'll tell when you like pump them out. You can feel.
Yeah.
Is the consistency the same of when I initially purchased it?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Just do a little
I
play.
think also just like with lube, especially considering it's going on intimate areas, you do want to be mindful of expiration dates. And to double back, we do have preservatives, but it's a natural preservative system in our formulation. So it probably is fine after a little bit extended from the 2-year, but on paper it's 2 years.
Good to know. Is that the same for Peak?
Yes, but it's different because it's not a water-based formulation, so it doesn't have the same issues in terms of like the breakdown of the organic ingredients. But that's also why we put them in the black or the dark bottles,
yeah,
so that it does maintain the integrity of the formulation and it doesn't break down from light or heat and all of that.
It's like
Smart.
very intentional with the bottles, the formulas, everything.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Because you've seen the cheapy brands are usually in like the clear
Clear
containers.
plastic.
Clear plastic, yeah.
No bueno.
Smart.
And then you get microplastics. That's a whole other talk.
Oh my God, that's a whole rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And but like that's what my Instagram, like my 3 a.m. wake up. You know, usually I like open Instagram because I'm like, well, I'm going to scroll until I fall asleep, and it's like microplastics, foods not to eat. You know, America's killing you.
It's like literally nothing is safe. We have to eat like freaking rabbits.
$300 dresses. They know I'll purchase. Like that's my algorithm.
Okay, we have a very similar feed.
I have a question.
That's
and
funny.
this is actually completely kind of switching gears, but
Hit it.
it was something that popped up. So you're getting married soon.
Yeah.
And what are you planning to have with you for your wedding night?
a lot of personal fave, baby.
Well, I want to know because
Okay.
so here's the thing for me. I was so busy with like wedding planning and with like just the day in general that I didn't even think about the night of like, which actually my ex-husband and I didn't even hook up because Camilla came and stayed in the room with us because she was on the couch. She was too drunk. So I didn't even think about it. But then when I was on the way over here. I
wasn't drunk. I was DDing. And I didn't
we were drunk. Okay.
Yeah, you were drunk. And
I was supervising.
Yeah, and I didn't have a place to go because by then, like, my parents had fallen asleep. I was like halfway across town. I was like, well, where am I going to go? So I just.
Yeah, I'll be with the bride and groom.
So I was going to ask you, what have you thought ahead of what you might bring for that night?
Okay, so I also, with our wipes that we came out with, I use them for literally everything. So, like, I will be giving my makeup artist the wipes to, like, for touch-ups, for everything. So that will be part of my pregame is, like, using the wipes.
Love that.
And TMI, like, thank God my fiance doesn't listen to any of my podcasts.
No, you're good. This is a safe space.
But I'm like, we ready to have them babies. And so the water base is safe and supports that.
Okay.
And so that will be the big reveal once I send everyone home or once I Irish goodbye my own wedding to go to town. I'm going to be pulling out the wet to be like,
love that.
Let's do this.
Okay, you know what I like the wipes for?
Tell me.
So, I mean, some of us, you're a rave person like we are, right?
What?
Like rave
Ravey.
ravey person. Yep. I will carry them like in my little bag that I take into raves because I love to use them like on my armpits,
Hell yeah.
like to like wash my hands
After the porta potty?
Yep, all of
Yes.
that. So like I'm thinking like especially like for like a wedding day, just have them with you. Like if you just get sweaty.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? I'm like, I hiked this weekend and like before I got in my car, I was like, I'm dusty as fuck. And like, I just like wiped myself down with my wipes because I was like, this is gnarly. So a bunch of our friends that are going to Burning Man are taking wipes. I'm like, the limit does not exist on how many wipes you would need with that amount of dust, but please take them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also like them when I'm flying. Do y'all no. When I get off the airplane, as soon as I go pee, wipe my whole area because I feel like sitting down in an airplane just like breeds like a yeast infection or BV.
Planes are nasty.
I fucking hate airplanes.
They are. Aviation needs a rebrand. I have so much. That's again another talk, but planes are nasty.
Yeah.
So wipe everything.
Yeah, no, the wipes are a savior for travel, for festivals, for in your car, for pre or post play, for after any kind of exercise. Like we use them for all the things. And yeah, I've been honestly like wiping my hands with them after I pump gas.
Wait, so is the shelf life on the wipes similar to?
It is, yeah, because it's also all natural substrate that they are in, and it's great. I mean, the formulation is so gentle.
They're so thin and they lock in so much moisture. I literally did a TikTok where I'm like squeezing the wipe to show how much water comes out.
Yeah.
Like,
Ooh.
you got to see that.
I mean, my friend was just recovering from surgery and she was not allowed to shower and just use the wipes.
Love that.
Fully, like to do her little medical showers.
Yeah.
That's great.
But sexual hygiene is real, listeners. Please clean your ass.
Oh my god, no, absolutely. Like especially when I was at that's the thing. Like when I was at Tomorrowland, I had every single day I would pack the wipes with me.
Yes.
And they worked so good.
I'm so glad.
Yes.
Clean your ass.
I mean, we go through these pretty quickly, so I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
actually, yeah.
I was like, no, but I was curious. I'm like, if I ever like, just keep them in my little. I had never thought about the expiration of these things until you said it earlier, and now I'm like, well, damn, I should probably go look through some of my drawer.
Oh my gosh, I like left my whole makeup bag in New York, and I was like, I'll just use my backup makeup.
Yeah. Oh no.
Couldn't open my eyes the next day. It was all like I said pictures to Stephanie. I was like, oh, so that shit's expired. I'm learning this the hard way. Old makeup brushes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Damn.
Yeah,
Ooh.
crazy.
Nasty.
Do you?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say like, do you? You just do a theme. Have you done your bachelorette yet?
No, I'm doing it with my mom and sisters. We're doing a spa weekend.
Oh, that's
so
great.
cute.
Wait, but they know you run like a sexual wellness
Oh,
brand.
hell yeah.
Okay. And are they all about it?
Yes. It took a while to get some of them on board.
Okay.
And
Oh, why is that?
I think it's like we live in such a bubble where this is so obvious, and they were so like, you worked at this like big company before, now you're doing stuff in sex. I'm like, okay, for me, I'm like, let me meet you where you're at and see like why this is making you uncomfortable, because that's like a huge like basis of why we do what we do, to diffuse shame and stigma and to educate people. So like, although at first I wanted to be like defensive and be like, you fucking prudes, I was like, okay, no, there's like bias and stigma here, so like let's have an open conversation and like talking about why we do what we do, and like hearing their shame and stigma, if that. Now they're like fangirls.
I love that. And have they used your products? Because I feel like the second they try that lube, they'd be like, we understand why you did this.
I cannot confirm nor deny and speak on their behalf.
I love that. Did you have a similar experience with your family?
No, it was a little bit different. I feel like my mom kind of came with the lens of like a business mind, as opposed to
can see that.
What is the product?
Yeah.
And she was like, I just love that it's a consumable, the repeat purchase. It's such a great thing. And I will tell you, like, this wasn't my first entrepreneurial idea that I presented to my family. There have been several. And the other ones were not great. Previously, before organic sex products, it was biodegradable glitter, for example.
There was a kimono phase. There was
a kimono moment. Like, there was also like a private party jet to Las Vegas from LA with strippers. Like, we've had a lot of cool ideas.
Wait, these are great ideas.
I jumped on when it got here.
Yeah, no, I mean, I actually, like, this is going to date myself, but I actually tried to pitch the private jet idea to my grandfather. May he rest in peace. That was a hilarious conversation of like, Elias Air, can't you see it? I can see it. Can you? So we made it. So I think it was a very different conversation by the time we arrived here. And my mom was on board from day one, and also poking holes and being more of a strategic advisor. Completely. As well as making sure that, we understand that what we're doing is stigmatized. There is, a huge shift that is needed here. And I think as someone who is like, a true feminist herself, she just like identified with the cause from day one and was like, I get it, but also like, let's make money.
Yeah.
Your
I don't even
family
know your
sounds
mother,
like
and I could
it's
see that.
giving the family.
Like
the mob.
It got intense energy.
It's giving Capricorn.
Yep. I love that though. I mean, because Kimmy and I, we have our pod, we talk about sex, and that definitely didn't sit great with our parents at first either. But
it still doesn't sit great with them.
Yeah.
How do you like are the conversations still awkward, or do you just not talk about it? What is...
It's like a red tape.
Okay.
But, there's a door.
Okay.
It just doesn't open.
Okay. Got it.
So,
but what I love about you guys is, you guys have great products. If I was your parent, I'd be like, this is phenomenal. I'm just happy you created it.
I'm like, guys, there's a couple of steps, because they're like, you're at the Honest Company with baby products. I'm like, how do you think the babies get here, y'all?
No, that's a great point. No, but also, you two are also like really great.
it's also like
same
team but different.
Yeah,
Thank
true.
you.
No, but
Thank
you
you.
both focus on like the wellness piece of it so much, and you put so much care into it. And like, I think that's why I support your product so much, is just because like I know you two as people, and I know how much care you put into it. And you're not just the old white men that are like, well, let's just sell some cheap fiberglass to put up your vagina.
Literally.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
So-
Appreciate you guys.
I know the wipes; those have been kind of a lot more popular lately because I think people want just kind of an easier solution.
Correct.
But like, what else are y'all seeing in the sex space that's like becoming more popular?
I mean, I think what's really interesting, and someone brought this up to me yesterday, is how popular vibrators are becoming in the mainstream. And I think Bellesa is like the big one behind that, in terms of like having such a crazy influencer strategy right now that so many people are just doing giveaways of actual sex toys.
Yeah, we've worked with them.
They really pop off on that.
Yeah, they're great. And I think that's been really interesting and cool to see in terms of like mainstreaming the conversation, and having more people actually just actively talk about vibrators without really talking about it. It's just like, I have a gift for you. And then, I mean, I think the other thing is like, we're definitely seeing a shift in terms of like the mainstream focus of retail forward brands as opposed to direct to consumer. And I feel so proud that from our launch year, we have been focused on our retail distribution strategy and just continue to move forward in that way. And it was something a lot of people, especially in more of the CPG startup world, were like, direct to consumer, like, what are you guys doing about that? And it's like they don't understand the red tape around what we do and how hard it is.
Because it's a sex product?
Exactly.
Yeah, to advertise and also like try to get customers' attention in that way. And then also like, yeah, finding influencers and creators to work with who will actually talk about this stuff.
Yeah.
Because I think that's one of the harder things. Like we've gifted a lot of people. I'm really excited to see what happens with the wipes. We view it as like our gateway drug product.
No, I was going to
Everyone
say
use
it is a
wipes.
really good one because then she's like,
Right?
oh, it's just a wipe.
Exactly. You
Check out the lube.
literally make it what you want. But I think additionally, something that I've seen a trend in, I'm curious what everyone thinks, is inviting for like women's health and sexual health into the conversation of sex. Like it's now normal to like talk about suppositories or like what we need to do if we have a UTI or yeast infection or BV. It's like that is being louder in the conversation, even if it's not the sexiest part of the conversation. So seeing that get into like the sex of it all, I love, or like talking about using like Flex is talking about how you can have period sex using
The
their
cup.
product. Using
Have
their
you ever
cup.
tried that?
No, but I'm like kind of very curious.
I am too because I
Okay.
have a cup and I've
Okay.
never done that.
I have it too, and I'm like, well, I love clean period sex. You've used it?
No, I did have a question though. But keep talking about the
That's
cup
it.
and then I'll ask. Oh, okay.
Clean period sex sounds awesome.
So I don't know how to insert those cups, and I'm kind of afraid to.
I know, I feel similarly, but I want to switch. because
Let's
I'm
all
scared
hold
of the
hands and do
tampons
it.
now.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I barely
I'll do
even
it with
use tampons now. Now I just kind of like
Free
which.
bleed.
Oh, I like gaslight my period. Sorry to listeners, but like on day 3 or 4, I'm like, you're
It's
done.
over.
Yeah. I'm like, stop.
No. So usually like day 1's not that bad, right? You can
Day-
like
day
kind of get
2's the
away.
bitch.
I just use like the period underwear.
Riff is my favorite period underwear.
Yeah.
I need to order more actually.
Yes, that's my
Yeah.
favorite period underwear by
Day
far.
2, it's happening.
Yeah.
Day 2,
Yeah.
there's
Don't leave the house much.
yeah.
I'll pull out Peak, our CBD lube, when I'm have horrible cramps. My fiance gets so excited. I'm like, oh no, because I use it because the CBD helps my cramps. I rub it all over my stomach.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What?
It works
Yeah.
as a vasodilator. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, you want to play? You can rub this on my stomach.
That got me thinking about the cup thing that you mentioned. But have you ever used a cup and then like if you break the seal on it, like it is just
Is it? Okay. Because I've had friends who like are ride or die, like diva flex cup girlies.
really.
Yeah.
And they have sex on them. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
And I saw a TikTok about like clean period sex using the cup. And I'm like, that sounds lovely because I'm also very horny on my period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, same.
I get horny right before.
Yeah.
That like 3-4 days right before my period. I'm like, who is she?
Is
An
that
animal?
the follicular?
No, follicular is
it's-
after.
Okay, my luteal.
Luteal.
Yes. Yeah. You know what's so funny? Last night, one of our friends came over. He was picking up his dog, and he was like saying that he had like a pregnancy scare with his girlfriend, and I was like, "Well, what part of her cycle is she in?" And he was like, "I don't know." And then I was like, "Was she ovulating? Does she know?" And he was like, he had no idea. I'm like, "Do you know anything about the menstrual cycle?" And he was like, "No." So we literally sat him down and drew it out.
You're like, so this is a month. These are the
28 to
days you
30
can
days.
get pregnant.
Menstrual, follicular, ovulation, luteal.
No, it is wild. It's like the deeper we go into this company, into this space, the more we realize how little men know about women's
It's crazy.
bodies.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
It's
And he's
crazy.
like 28 years old and doesn't even 28 and doesn't even know how it works.
No, I mean, an investor on a call last year literally said, "I just found out that you can pee with a tampon in."
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What?
No, like this is like real stuff.
A grown man.
Like someone maybe in his 40s.
yeah, and he
said
was
that.
proud.
It's true because
Like,
I
huh?
feel like men think that we pee from where we bleed. Because or like where because I remember I had a guy once, he came inside me and he was like, "Go pee it out," and I'm like,
What?
Honey child.
Oh my god.
I was like, "What do you mean? Go
You're like,
pee
so
it
I
out?"
actually am going to go pee, but when I come back, we have to have a larger conversation about basic anatomy.
Yeah. And
There
maybe
are tools.
maybe a quick trip to the grocery or to the store to get some Plan B.
Literally.
Wait, but that's actually a great question because you guys work with like investors that are mainly, I assume, men.
That is where a lot of the money is. We're
Yeah.
grateful that there are more emerging female funds.
Yeah.
But it's so interesting to present this to
Yeah.
the older white man, and you really have to put yourself in their shoes. Why would they want this? Why is this exciting? And like to Stephanie's point earlier, at the end of the day, talk about the numbers, talk about the sales. Oh, can this make me money?
Where do you get the most pushback when it comes to the products?
Or what's the most interesting comment you've heard?
I mean, there's so much.
There's a lot.
I mean, I feel like when we get to a different stage of the business, like an expose of some kind needs to happen. In terms
I'm
of the
ready to
crazy
do
things.
the like talk in the camera TikTok. Like
Yeah.
this is what happened while we pitched.
I mean, someone once said, like, we needed a hotter pic of us in our pitch deck. Why are we in maternity clothes? Yeah, we're in nice dresses.
Yes.
Like a professional photographer we're friends with took that photo.
Are you kidding me?
You've got
Swear.
to be joking.
No.
Did you throw your coffee in his face? Because
It was an email, so like it will be included in the book.
Yeah, it'll be included in the book. One guy said, I have better ingredients that will work better. And he like showed us the ingredients and I was like, oh, this is like the antithesis of what we're creating. Like I would never put that near my vulva. Like you're asking me to get frickin' UTI or yeast infection.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, but do you know how to make a girl come? And this is an investor. And I was like, Miss Guzzi?
I would probably be like, actually, yeah,
I was
bro.
like, interesting. It's called masturbation. But I was like, oh, okay. It's going to be like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like some other things. Oh, I think someone said once, like, I'm gonna pass on this, but don't worry, I'll go pick up another bottle at Hustler
Yeah.
with a wink face in the email.
Good luck with your project. Yeah.
you know what this reminds me of?
Yeah. I was like, good luck getting laid.
Yeah. When I was getting my pilot's license in college, I can't tell, and I was getting a degree in aviation. I can't tell you how many times I'd tell someone that, and they would be like, "Oh, to be a flight attendant."
Stop it.
Yeah, and I'd be like, "No, motherfucker, to fly the actual plane."
Yeah. Oh, that makes me want to flip a table. We got some work to do.
Yeah, I have a lot of work to do.
No, it's definitely been crazy. Pushback on the actual products, like, it's more so. Some people are just more about like, why is it so expensive?
I don't think it's expensive.
Thank you.
Yeah, and some people are like, why doesn't it cost more? Right? So some people have difference of opinion, especially about wet and the way that we priced it and the positioning. But Lube runs such a wide range of like
crazy.
$4 to $150. So it varies so great that it's hard to really measure. Other pushback is like, yeah, I think to Hannah's point, like a lot of men don't understand why these products need to exist.
Yeah.
They don't get it. Also because like 1 in 3 women experience pain during intercourse. But they are have been like distilled or it's instilled in them that they shouldn't voice it. You just kind of like,
Oh,
sit
it's gonna be
through it.
painful.
Yeah. I'm like, does not need to be the case, honey. Pleasure and pain don't unless you're into that. But
I was gonna say
that's another
consensual pleasure.
Yeah,
yes, thank you.
consensual. We'll get there. So all these dumb dudes, sorry bros, but like they aren't listening if they're in a hetero situation to their partner of like, oh, this will actually make her hornier or more aroused, or it could actually make it better. And there's also this stigma that like, I don't know, it's so archaic that like, I can get her wet thing. And I'm like, that's not what it's about.
Yeah, no, 100%. No, I hate when it's like, why do you need lube?
And I'm like,
What do you mean, why do you need lube? When you're having sex for a fucking hour and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden you find yourself in a small dry spot and you're trying to force a dick in, like, just put some lube.
You're
It's gonna
welcome.
be fine.
Yeah.
It's not.
You
it's
want to
not
keep
gonna
going?
hurt your ego.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't devalue you as a person.
But it does not work
No.
mostly.
I remember like, no.
I love the way you recoiled.
No,
Yeah.
we don't do the spit.
And then I think, that brings me to something else is like, obviously we had the hawk to a cultural moment a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And
Shout out to you, girl. We see you.
yeah, love you. But a couple people were like, you should like spoof this and like use it to your advantage of like an ad moment. And I was like, yes, but also we're not trying to shame anyone here.
I'm like,
either.
let that girl live.
Yeah.
Let her hawk to her way through life.
She said what we're all thinking.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, spit on that thing.
You're
but
not
please use
wrong.
lube.
You're
Yeah.
not wrong.
Yeah.
I think about how much my sex life changed when I actually discovered what good lube is. And that's why
a game
I will
changer.
never stop like singing the praises of like the brands that I know, like y'all's that make really good lube. Because like for me, I just remember so much of the shitty lube I used to use and how much it like irritated my vagina. There would be times where I would like after sex, you're just like, you know how what is it called? It gets like inflamed almost.
Yes.
And that was always from like horrible lube. And I was like,
Or lack thereof.
yeah, or lack thereof. Yeah.
Ouchie.
And then you start using good lube and you're like, I can go for hours.
Literally. And feel awesome.
Amazing.
Yes.
And then the next day you like don't smell or you don't have like weird, you're not itchy or whatever.
You're not like, why is it ballooning?
Yeah. Like, do I have to sit on a pack of frozen peas right now?
Yeah.
Thank you. You brought up something earlier that I was going to ask what your thoughts are on this. You said how like now vibrators are having more of a moment. Do you think there's any correlation with that to how celibacy is having a moment?
It's a really
That's
interesting
a really good question.
comment. I mean, as someone who refers to themselves as an incel right now,
Wait, why?
With pride, okay.
that I'm involuntarily celibate. I don't know. I'm just very picky and also,
As you should be.
As you should be.
yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot there, but yes, the rise of celibacy, the rise of Gen Z not having sex in general, I think brings a lot of the masturbation conversation into play. And I think the other thing is like, it is an empowering moment for people to take control of like their self-pleasure and self-love routines. But it's hard to like fully correlate. I think it's also, we have seen since the pandemic, like a huge shift in that conversation regardless. And now, everyone is like talking about celibacy or being boy sober or like what that really means. And I think, I don't know, for me, it's like, I just don't want to take in energy that I don't want. Mm-hmm. And also,
Love that.
As women or anyone on the receiving end, you are taking in someone's energy. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm just trying to be mindful, not necessarily demure.
Very mindful.
I'll be
very
demure.
demure.
About that. But I think there's a lot to be said about just driving forward the category. It excites me to see it. But I also wonder how much of it is also like catalyzed by the expansion of OnlyFans and sex work being more open. And I think all of it helps in terms of mainstreaming sex and the conversation. What I do wonder is I want to know how to like get the kids having sex again.
I mean, I agree with you. I mean, because I did a whole little celibacy stint last year, and it was great. Though at the end of it, I was like, how am I going to get back into sex? And then I was like, and then finally, someone came along and I was like, oh, I want to fuck him. And then,
That was easy.
yeah. And it was someone that made me feel like very safe to do so. But I agree. I think like a lot more women are like being cognizant of what we put in our bodies, not only with lube, but also with men. Yes. And then when you have men that say things like, what the investors have said or people you've had meetings with or like, the guy that didn't even know the menstrual cycle, when they don't know anything about our bodies, you're just kind of like, well, I don't want to sit here and like educate you and have to like babysit you through this whole process because you don't know how to take care of my body. I mean, I feel like I put a lot of, granted this was like more in my later 20s, maybe not initially, but like, to get to know both like the female side and the male side of things too. Yes. Like I feel like I've taught men things about their own dicks. And I'm like, how did you not know this? So yeah, it's interesting. And I
feel
think,
that.
Yeah. I think it's good to be like mindful of it or like that people are being more mindful of it, but at the same time, do go out and enjoy sex because it is pretty great.
It's wonderful.
The great thing is you can still use
personal Fave with toys when you're inserting them.
They are toy safe. All our lubes are toy safe, honey.
I just really want to know, like, what it feels like when you as a guy take joy mode for your dick. Like, you know, like, are your spidey senses tingling? Like, what do you feeling? Yeah, what do you feel? For any man that has tried joy mode, can y'all maybe like submit like a little response or something? Maybe comment.
We have given it to our friends when we all went that weekend.
Yeah, but I never asked them how it made them feel, and now I regret that because, like, I want to know. Like,
I asked them what it was like for their performance, and they said that they liked it for that, and it definitely like gives you a boost. But you're right, we didn't ask like if it helps feel anything like different down there.
Well, because it's, you know, like, in the sense of like, I'm thinking like, okay, like pre-workout, you feel it, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
The vasodilation that's occurring. So when
does this also vasodilate
the dick? Like, that's what I'm asking. Like, how does it feel? How does joy mode feel? That is today's question. Please submit your answers. And of course, if you're trying to get yourself a little pre-workout for your dick, go to tryjoymode.com. Use code DOUBLETEAM and get some savings. I think it's like 15-20% off, something like that.
And then go on our website, give us a review, and let us know what you think. Yeah. I'm curious, what do you feel like you and your have you like what's the where was his like level of like knowledge, you know, when you guys were first together, and like where are you now?
It was he's so introverted and private. We are opposites to the 10th degree. Mm-hmm. But on our first date, I remember telling him about this, and and it can be like, I had a lot of first dates that month, and it's so interesting to read the other person's energy when you tell them what you do, and it's this. And some people can be intimidated, some people can be turned off, and he was like immediately impressed and proud. He was like, this is so cool. Like, this is, aww. And I was like, oh shit, let's go on another date. Like, I was like, so yeah. And so he like is so curious, and he's always sending like articles that he finds, and he's like, did you know about this? And like, he's very much like the supportive hype. He's my hype girl.
Love that. But as he should be.
Yeah, he literally will like be like, have you heard about this? Oh gosh, is this one of your competitors? Like, he's always like, have you listened to this podcast? It made me think of you and Stephanie. And it's very cute and like so supportive. And he also like, I'll drag him to events. I brought him to Sex on the Beach last week, 2 weeks ago. But we've been at events before where like people go up to him and ask what he does, and he's like, oh, I'm here because she has a company and she's running it. And it's so interesting. They go up to like the tall white guy and assume like he's the one here for the event. He's like so proudly like passes the mic over. And I'm like,
I love that.
I'm like, I'm gonna marry the shit out of you.
What's his favorite product?
He likes Peak, but he's actually obsessed with the wipes. He's obsessed. We recently got a Peloton because we're trying to get in shape for our wedding, and he like wipes himself down with the wipes. He's like, this product's amazing, and he's out of the country right now for work, and he's like asking Stephanie and me, he's like, I gotta bring wipes for everyone in Europe. Like, can I bring? And I'm like, yeah, go. You can bring it.
You should. Yeah. You know, it makes me think of what's that one brand? Dude Wipes.
I mean, yes.
We're coming for Dude Wipes.
I was gonna say I've used them because we went to, actually it was a swingers weekend that we had with a bunch of our friends where we were like all at the lake, and you know, we were all staying at this one person's house, and they had Dude Wipes in every single bathroom, and I was like, okay, I love this because like sometimes like, especially when you're having a lot of sex, like toilet paper doesn't cut it.
Correct.
And like this was like marathon sex that entire weekend, you know.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I'm there.
And so like, I'm so glad that everyone was like using the wipes because like it just helps. But I just remember, the formula is not the same. And
you know, my partner has Dude Wipes in his bathroom. And I remember like all weekend, like I had mainly been using my wipes, but then at one point, like he ran out of toilet paper, and like I went to go pee, and I didn't have my wipes with me. I was in another bathroom.
Yeah, of course.
And I used the Dude Wipes, and then I feel like they just did not mesh with my vagina well. Like a couple hours after, and then I was like, I didn't have this problem before. Like, what's the, and then I clicked that it was,
Ours are pH matched. I'm not here to cast a shadow on them, but rather shine a light on ours. Like, I'm not here to throw all the shade, but
but they
here.
can throw off your pH because it smelled a little bit down there after.
Well, that was the initial infection that I got was from a wipe at a lubricated condom.
Right.
Yep.
So
And
the
here we
wipes
are.
are a big deal.
I got embarrassed too because I was like, why does it?
Don't whisper. We're not gonna be able to
I was
hear
like,
you.
why is my pH?
Yeah, she's getting real quiet.
I know. Come on, talk.
I could tell
Some
my
ASMR.
I could tell my pH was off, and I was like, "Why is it off?" Like I was so pissed, and then I realized it was those fucking wipes.
I like dare you to put some of ours like in the dude wipe packaging.
I was gonna say, just
actually
go
like
to
notices a
No,
difference.
I'm gonna go to his house this weekend. I'm just
Stock
gonna
up.
take that pack right there and put one in every single bathroom.
Just be like, give it a whirl.
But their packaging is bigger, so maybe
There
some bigger
is.
packs.
Yes. See, I like you're hired for the R&D or variant sizes. I feel you.
Yeah,
I'm
she's
just
ready
glad
for
that, like, I have a direct relationship with y'all because I was literally thinking about it the other day. I'm like, I need a bigger bottle of wet, and
like,
I'm like, I
need
wonder
more
if I can
wipes.
ask them about it.
She's ready for the Costco expansion.
Yeah, we
pack.
got you. We got you. The wipes are on Amazon. I think you can buy 4 packs at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Costco.
I'm just saying.
I mean, I'm ready when you are.
Yeah.
Like, we'll make one that's like 100.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's only
Yeah.
10
We got you.
wipes in each pack right now, but we can do a 30. We can do 100. I mean,
50.
yeah.
Yeah.
We can come for the others.
But these are great for, I love these for travel because, yeah, they fit so easily into our fanny pack for raves, and it's great. Yes. Actually,
And it's not like I can take them into festivals, which is what I like. They don't question them. So
which is awesome.
yeah, and it's like the sealable package works too. I was gonna say because I know we told y'all the porta potty story, but someone sent us a story from when they had porta potty sex. Do we want to read it?
Yes.
Please.
Oh my god!
Ooh.
I would have to have a clothespin on my nose for it.
Yeah. I do
like,
not.
Have either of you ever done porta potty sex?
No,
I do not do well in porta potties. Like,
Like even as my own just peeing, I'm like, how do I make this the quickest in and out experience of my
yeah.
life?
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I personally have like a problem with smells. Like, I will gag and throw up like almost immediately.
It's true.
So like, I don't know. I remember like one Burning Man, I was like, how do I avoid the porta potties at all costs? I'm going in RVs. I'm going to the fancy camps.
Yeah, I'm making
just use their
friends,
bathrooms.
yeah.
Like, I am just avoiding these things like the plague. Having sex in one, kudos to these people, but
Honestly,
how?
doing the Lord's work.
How
I
did
wanna
they
know.
do that?
I don't know either, but I've seen it happen so many times that now I'm like, I'm just curious. But anyways, okay, I'll read all this story. Okay,
I'm dying.
I was just gonna say, when I the first time I got COVID, I lost my sense of smell for like a year. Yeah, it
Holy
was.
shit.
Yeah, I didn't get my full sense of smell didn't come back until I want to say midway through 2022. But anyway, but I could go into porta potties and not smell a thing.
Okay, there were
was the
silver
one-
linings.
That was the one blessing.
I like that.
I was like, I can do this.
okay.
Open the door.
You can walk. You can walk around Venice without like smelling human shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so she starts off by saying, staying on the podcast, thank you, and that she loves us, thank you. Okay, when I listened to the podcast this morning and you mentioned porta potty sex, I was like, OMG, my time to shine. I love this.
Wow.
I love her already.
Anywho, so me and my rave fam went to a rave at the NOS Event Center about 2 years ago. Do you know what the NOS Event Center
No.
is?
I do.
Yeah.
I don't. Tell me.
It's
in
nowhere
San
you want to
Bernardino.
go.
Yeah. It's in San Bernardino. It's where they
but
where
you're
they
right.
host all the raves. Yeah, it's not great.
It's-
I went once in 2011, not to age myself again, for Audiotistic, which I don't even know if they still do.
They
and,
do. Yeah.
And it gave me such carny vibes. Like,
That's kind of fun.
that I was not in a good way.
No,
I want to hear her story.
But yeah, it's a place. But
Okay.
So they went to the NOS Center. She goes, hate that place now. I got my phone stolen last year. Totally not Plur vibes there. Anyways, I was drinking, dancing, living my best life. And this guy who I talked to on and off for years hits me up and asks me to go find him because he wants to see me. So I was drunk and down, of course. I go and find him, and he was looking so damn fine, and I was in a little nun outfit. I was
Dead.
feeling extra holy that night. Okay, Sister Tina.
I love her.
Long story short, we had sexual tension for years, and we never had a chance to have sex. So finally, we started making out, and things were starting to get a little touchy-feely, so he said, let's go to the bathroom.
Stop.
And I said, let's. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I get it. So I said, but you're going to have to pretend like you're going to be sick so we can walk in together. So he starts coughing and gagging like he's going to get sick. So we go into the big handicap porta potty.
Oh, smart.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
respect this move. I respect this move.
Those always smell less.
Yes. And someone also said that they had sex in a porta potty and it was the handicap one because it's bigger.
I like having my space, so I'm taking notes.
Okay. And then, so things started getting hot and heavy and we started making out. He's kissing me all over and biting. And then he rips my fishnets and bends me over. And fucks the shit out of me, no pun intended. Okay, then
Where were they in the porta potty?
That's what I wonder.
Were they against the door? Were they by the?
I mean, the handicap stalls, to be fair, are like not half the size of this room, but like relatively large.
They can be, yeah.
They're
pretty big.
They're big. They're spacious, and they don't smell as much because there's more.
They're probably about half the size of this rug. Maybe actually a little bit bigger than that. Yeah.
Okay, I'm visualizing.
He puts me against the wall of the porta potty.
There you go.
And then they fuck for 30 minutes inside a porta potty. Oh my god.
Okay.
Okay, his dick was great, but let's just say no one came that night.
Well, they were probably kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
30 minutes in a porta potty.
She needed some Fave banging. Yeah, I'm dead.
No, but like also just think of like,
did it smell?
All the poop particles in the air just sticking to their.
I'd rather just have sex in public.
Right?
Yeah, same.
She said, I will say I did get strep after that day. It was so horrible. So do I regret the sex at NOS Center porta potties? Kinda.
Oh, honey.
I hope you guys read this and get a little laugh out of it.
Shout out to this nun.
Yes.
Shout out.
Yes. Thank you, sister, for your service.
Yes. Literally.
I would have used the hell out of the wipes in that situation.
I would have covered my made like a dress out of the wipes. a ghost costume.
Yeah, like cleaned his dick.
Yes.
Before insertion. Like.
I mean, I don't know. I just have a lot of questions. But I'm also like proud to hear that these things happen simultaneously.
You do you, girl.
Yeah.
The millennials are fucking.
Yeah.
The millennials are fucking.
Yes.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
We get down.
But yeah, how do we get Gen Z excited about sex
Again. Do they not know how good it is?
I think they're like
just
really
so
socially anxious.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what it is? Not to get astrological with it, but we're all Pluto and Scorpio, and that's a very sexual sign. They're Pluto and Sag, not as sexual of a sign.
I like when you
But
get all
still.
zodiac. I'm like, yeah.
But Sag is still very like.
Sag likes to have fun, but they're more like, it's more communicative. That's why they're all so good on social media.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's not as sexual. And a lot of us, Scorpio is a sign of trauma. We're all traumatized, so we're like, let's fuck it out.
Oh.
Yeah, and they're like, we're not as traumatized.
But they're traumatized in like a different way. Like they had to like be in lockdown in high school. Like high school is when you like learn everything.
Oh, that's true.
You know, that's when you like discover yourself and things and you're horny and it's like, and they're just like stuck behind a computer screen inside by themselves.
That's actually a really solid point.
Right?
I hadn't thought about that because
that sets you back. I think like socially developmentally and mentally and sexually.
Yeah, no, and I think you can see it with all of the younger kids, even like the COVID babies who like have a hard time like even like being friendly to like friends or things like that because they were like 1 or 2 during lockdown and were like isolated.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do wonder like if you were trying to learn how to be social, you missed out on 1 to 2 years of high school or college where you learn like really basic but really important fundamental skills.
Of just like socializing, partying.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know about y'all, but like I wasn't having a lot of sex during COVID.
I wasn't.
No.
And that was sad.
No, I think that was like my longest streak of like 10 months.
Yeah, I think that was everyone's longest streak, unless you were like
how long have you been
up.
celibate now?
Since May. 2 months, 3 months?
Okay, that's not that bad.
No.
Yeah.
Or like counting.
I was like, May last year.
No.
July, August.
No.
I'm not a numbers girly.
Yeah. And I do think like, I mean, to your point also, it's like they also don't party. They're not drinking. I think like that has a lot to do with whether or not you end up having casual sex or just the way that you socialize. So
I'm on board with the no drinking.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I also wonder, like, do you have to make some missteps in your youth to, like, figure out
I don't know if
things?
it's like, they don't necessarily have to drink, but like, go have fun.
Yeah.
Go play.
Exactly.
I see a good amount of Gen.
Okay.
Or
We have hope over here.
when I was like in my little 24-year-old stint where that's the only age I was fucking, I was like,
Hot.
okay. Like some of them really do get down. Not all
Okay, I
of
like
them.
that because I think so many are just like, again, from COVID, they're just, I feel more comfortable like being alone and on my phone, and that's how I socialize.
Yeah, they definitely don't prioritize it.
Okay, yeah, we got to prioritize pleasure, people. It's also like all these people are so stressed and anxious. Like we say all the time, more sex equals less stress,
That's what I was.
even if it's with yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Please.
Actually, I was saying this in another episode that we just had, but yeah, I was essentially telling my partner that I'm like, every time I'm stressed, I like to have sex.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like to start the morning, if it's with myself or with my partner. I'm like, I can go into the day being less of a bitch now.
And that's why morning sex is superior, to be honest, because an orgasm at the start of your day, suddenly you're just happy.
I had so much morning sex this past weekend.
Isn't it? It's like so lovely.
Wait, do you
I
and your
was so
partner have more
happy.
morning sex than night sex?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I guess both. He's more night, I'm more morning, so it's
Okay.
both.
But that also can be in correlation with the hormone cycle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Completely. That's a whole other episode, like talking about a men's cycle that like
Oh, we should do that.
Dudes don't even know
Yeah.
that they have their own cycle.
We should do that.
I would like that.
Do you guys have any men's products that you're coming up with?
We like to say that our products are
For
like
I was gonna say
dude
these are great
products.
for wiping off their dick.
Yes, and like we have people that use Peak to jerk off, like that.
Love. Yeah.
Like that has been a lot of like sleep deprived moms with little babies are like, thank you for the Peak, because like I don't feel like having sex with my husband, but like he's really happy jerking
Yeah.
off with it. I'm like, that's great.
Yeah.
Keep it in the marriage life somehow. But we've definitely like explored more dude centric stuff because we want it to be palpable for everyone and invite them into the conversation.
Yeah. And some of our best customers are men. Like some of our like VIPs.
Yeah.
Love that.
Who order on a very continual basis. Like
Good for them.
um
Well, I was gonna
Back
say your
again.
packaging of the black bottles very masculine, which I think is like really nice.
Sexy.
But
Yeah.
they are sexy.
It's
yeah.
sexy.
yeah, that was intentional. To make
like-
it not be like femme. And be very like inclusive in terms of how it presents.
But also like for me, I'm like, it's sexy for me too. This
Yeah,
black
yeah.
glass bottle. Like I feel so chic and I don't feel like I'm at a frat house when someone has like a plastic squirt bottle. I'm like,
Exactly.
I'm like, that doesn't turn me on.
See, and that's what I'm thinking, guys. For this, let's do a 50 count in a black package.
Okay.
And replace.
She's like, I'm
wipes.
ready for the job.
Oh wow! I know. I mean,
I'm
we-
applying.
Yeah, we do want to come for dude wipes. So
Yeah.
if you think that guys
In
would
a kind
want,
way.
A larger package in black. That's how you're gonna do it.
But keep that purple lettering.
I know the
Yes.
purple's cute.
Or make it that blue. I like the blue too. Yeah.
Okay.
I want a 5-cent royalty for that idea.
okay, Miss Shark Tank.
Sending the commission structure over right now. Thank you.
All of a sudden, she's like proposing a deal terms. I'm like, wow.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I don't know why I like keep hearing on that idea or why I think about y'all's products so
I
much,
love
but I
it.
do. And then when I have these ideas and I'm like, I think this is what we could do with it.
You should text us. Text to Joe Rogan's favorite
Hell
niche
yeah.
chat when
Yeah.
you've got those 3 a.m. thoughts. We're all yours.
We
should,
really are.
yeah.
We just fire off I'll just copy and paste the text to our chemist and be like, thoughts? Question mark.
Thoughts, question mark. And I want to see what the chemist says.
Yes.
I'm kidding. But anyways, yeah. Okay, I'll my little like wrap up question. Where do you like, you've seen what trends are happening, like you maybe probably have an idea of like some of the things that are up and coming, but like what, if you could like look at 5 years from now, what do you really hope to see? Like not only in sexual wellness, but like, in your brand and all of that.
That question excites me, but I want you to answer first because I know you got some big feelings.
Okay. 5 years from now, we're gonna be in Walmart, Ulta, on Revolve, on all of these retailers that we've been chatting with, and it's gonna be great.
Drugstores.
And also expand into international.
Love. I didn't even know what that market looks like.
Which we've already had interest from Europe, the UK, as well as Latin America and Canada.
Yep.
So really excited just from like a brand expansion standpoint to enter into different markets. And then I think for me, I'm most excited about re-engineering the condom. And really making that a reality and bringing that to market in the next 3 to 5 years. I think there's so much that can be done and that should be done to iterate on these products that haven't really happened yet. And lube is awesome and very cool, but I think condoms and also toys. I mean, people have been asking for a toy for a long time, but I think the condom thing is just so massive in terms of how we can also, like to your point before, excite men as well as make experience better for all parties involved and not irritate vulva owners.
I echo all of that. And additionally, for me, I'm like a clean ingredient nerd. So when the big guys in the market start to feel threatened and change their formulas, that's when I know we're winning. So like when KY, Durex, and Trojan are like, oh shit, we should probably not be making these horrible ingredient products, that's when I'm like, oh, good, we have your attention.
I just think
1,000%
brands
with
like
you. KY need to just retire.
Yeah,
Just
maybe
bye.
call it a day.
Yeah.
Throw it.
No,
Hang
whoever
up the
makes
hat.
that lube, that I've seen it at so many freaking play parties. It's like the tall, clear bottle. It has like kind of a red label.
Yeah.
And it has like a red just pump top. If we could make that brand go away, and I'm so sorry, I don't know who you are, but fuck you. I hate that lube.
Astroglide?
It might be. I don't know. But anyways,
It looks like, you know, those like cheapy bottles of like aloe vera you get.
Yeah.
That's what like it looks
like
like on
giant
the
hand
inside.
sanitizer.
It's just like,
yeah.
it's just like bubbly in there.
Gross.
I used it once because it was the only. I didn't have my little minis. You know how much I love those wet minis.
Girls, I know.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know.
I have one in my wallet. Oh wait, it's in the car. But anyways, I love those wet minis. But anyways, I didn't have any of my lube with me, and I had to use that at like a play party, and I had never felt so irritated after. And I was just like, fuck this. And the first time I ever got DP'd, I also had to use Astroglide. And I was just like, both times I like forgot my normal, you know, like fanny pack things.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Anyways.
No, I'm with you. Wait, either they become irrelevant or they change their ingredients.
Yeah.
That's when I know we've won.
Yeah. And I think the other thing is also the other clinicals and testing that we'd like to have happen. Because Hannah mentioned this before, but our water base is outperformed the leading fertility lubricant for sperm motility. So we have Fave babies out in the world that we know about.
I love our Fave babies.
But if we can do like further research on both like fertility as well as ED with our formulations, I think there's a lot that we can uncover, especially just given the intentionality of all of our ingredients, aphrodisiac extracts, as well as looking, sorry to get really nerdy for 5 seconds, but the like viscosity and the way that it actually does mimic your cervical fluid, as well as bringing blood flow to the area and being a true topical alternative for men looking for things to help with their performance as well.
We get so much anecdotal feedback, but we are such a small company, so we can't make large claims. So to answer your question, the next 5 years, we'll be making some crazy ass claims because that's how great our formulas are.
No, I agree with you. It does mimic. It does feel like my juices. Yeah.
Right?
It does. Like, it really does.
It's the main feedback we get from Wet. They're like, this feels like my own natural lubrication. I'm like,
yeah.
got
That
you.
was the goal.
That's the goal.
No, and I've not that I've like compared it, but like I've kind of like looked at
It's okay.
yeah. No, because I remember one time I was using like a dildo and I like put the Wet on it, and then like afterwards when I pulled it out, I could like kind of see, you know, my juices on it as well, and I'm like, this looks exactly as like what I put on in the beginning. Yeah.
Love.
Will there ever be a lube that prevents sperm mobility?
So it's interesting you say that, because a lot of men, that's what they say. They were like, oh, wait, no, we shouldn't use that one, right? Because it's like going to get us pregnant. And I'm like, no.
First of all, use a condom.
Well, yeah, use it.
I know, but for those of us that don't want to use condoms with our partners.
Same.
So, and I even had to say this to someone yesterday. I was like, no, it's not going to make it easier to get pregnant. It's just going to allow the sperm to swim.
Okay.
In terms of like a natural spermicide, it is something that we've spoken about and something that it would be interesting to explore, because I think there are ways that we could do that. I just wonder like what we need to test for in order to say like this is a natural spermicidal lube alternative to some of the spermicidal lubes, which are super irritating, filled with chemicals.
That's what I'm saying. They're horrible.
Yeah.
bad.
And I've had some ideas. I mean, I wonder if like a simple essential oil might be something that could be added that would like immediately kill sperm on contact, similar to latex, as well as a few others. I'm eyeing tea tree oil, but I also don't know whether or not you can really put that inside of you.
We got a lot of research to do.
Yeah.
But we're committed.
I trust you two would find it, but if we could make that also a thing.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Wait, honestly,
You have like a list that you need to email us.
Yeah.
You're like, I love you guys, but I need XYZ. So I'm waiting for the text to come.
Yeah. There's going to be value size wipes,
Packaging, ingredients.
bigger wet, and then also
And a bigger peak while we're at it.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
All right.
Optionality. We're down. We're down.
No, I want to go in the lab with y'all.
It's
Oh, wait,
fun.
I still want to go. Yeah.
Yes. Wait, we have hairnets for you. Put your
Oh my
hairnet
God.
on.
Yeah, I'm down. Yeah.
Take me back to my science days. when I used to-
We geek out. It's so much fun.
I used to have a whole little kid scalpel and everything. Yeah. Cool, because I was in my bachelor's was pre-vet. So.
Yeah, right. Zoology.
Yep.
Love
So I
that.
remember.
Well, thank you guys for joining us today.
Thank
we
you.
Love you.
We love you so much.
love you.
And we love your product. I really do. And that's why like I will talk about it any and every day. I recommend it to every person that I know. I love Wet.
We love you guys.
It is amazing. Thank you. Thank you for putting out such great products. And I know, like I said, I know you guys as people and like you just genuinely want to really help out the space. And like there's, you know, and like you're both like young and like bringing fresh energy into it. And like that's definitely what the space needs. So congrats for the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
I wish you all the success in it.
We adore you guys. It's always an honor. I like fangirl when I come on here. So love you
Well,
guys.
plug yourselves. Yes, where can people find you?
Okay, so as many of our listeners know, the shadow ban is real. So please, on TikTok and Instagram, you have to spell it all the way out. It's at Personal Fave Co. Fave is F-A-V, Personal F-A-V-C-O. And that's where you'll find us. Personalfave.co is where you can purchase us. Our wipes are also on Amazon. What else am I missing?
No, I think that's the big things. Can also shop us in store and online at Goop, as well as the Pleasure Chest, and multiple sex shops across.
Cindy's, yeah.
Yeah, Hustler.
Is our code still active?
If it's not, it will be. So it's Fave DT.
Yes.
Use at checkout, 20% off. You're welcome.
Yeah. As you heard on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yes.
It's his fave lube, you guys.
I'm going to make a clip of it and tag him in it.
Please.
Yeah.
Anyways, and I hope he does try it out.
He should.
Should we send him some?
Yes. Find
Look
that
at-
address.
We'll find his PR team and send him. And you're going to be like, why am I getting this?
Thank us later, Joey.
I mean, I feel like if anyone's going to deliver the message to the men, it might be him.
They'll
It might be
listen.
Joe Rogan. Yeah.
They'll
Yeah.
listen.
No, but literally, I tell everyone that's like, oh, do you know a good lube brand? I'm like, do I know a good lube brand?
Do you have a minute?
The best.
Thank you.
Have a minute?
I got stories.
Yes, do you have a minute? Thank you guys for
Thank
joining
you.
us
Love you
today.
Love you guys.
And then what's our normal spiel? Wear condoms. No. DoubleTeamPodcast.com has all relevant links at Kimi and Nikki on Instagram, at Double Team Podcast on TikTok and Twitter.
At Double Team Pod.
And yeah, try Personal Fave, please. That will always be my like biggest thing. Do it.
I love you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks. And wear condoms.